Sure. So very little, to tell you the truth. I've done a few guest posts, and this was just personal networking. So I'm in some groups on Facebook that are in my space that people have gone. I'm looking for people to write some content, basically guest post opportunities that weren't worded as guest post opportunities. So that's the few that I've done, maybe 3 or 4 guest posts. The rest of the links that I have to my site are all just organic.
And do you have any handle on how many links are pointing to your site?
There's a lot of, because I have a certain post type on my site that aggregates to a lot of spammy sites. I have a lot of spammy links, but I also have probably 50 solid good links from good follow links from good domains, even some up in like the 60s and 70s of domain authority. So
And those are just natural where someone needed a reference to some topic, you cover that topic, and they just want a reference. Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Perfect. And do you have any like tips for people that are like, how do I get such links to happen naturally?
Post good content.
Yeah.
It's post good content and networking too. I mean, if you're in groups around websites in the niche that you're in, that would be kind of I'm trying to not give away my niche.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, there's good example. I'm not in any of these groups, but like I'm into home brewing beer, and there are probably, I know there's big forums, but basically like if you're part of the community, then opportunities will show up even if you're not actively looking for it. But like if you just know people, things could happen.
Right. And it's sometimes it's just participating in certain discussions. I've had, well, one was just we started to talk to somebody on Facebook, and he's like, "Hey, I have a site." Like, "Hey, I have a site. Can I write an article for you? Because I heard guest posting was cool. It might be good for my site." So that's pretty much how that one happened. And actually, the link that I got from that, the post that I linked to is a subpar post, but because I have that one link from that quality site, it's like number 2, number 3 on Google, even though there are definitely some posts below it that I objectively are better. So
Gotcha. Very cool. All right. Any other sort of, I mean, it sounds like you don't do too much active link building, but you do have the core links. Any other tips or observations, or maybe something you're going to try in the future?
oh, I listened to your last interview. I think it was your last interview with the girl, and you guys were talking about Aro? Arrow?
Yep.
No, that was the guy. I think it was 2 interviews ago. That sounds really compelling. If I were to spend time on trying to build links right now, that's, I think, the route that I would take, because that sounds like a great way to get links. It's the RO. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I am playing around with that. And yeah, it seems pretty awesome. I've heard from a lot of people who said exactly what you said. Like, that sounds pretty good. I may want to check it out. So I'll probably be releasing some information on like what's going on, and potentially a course actually on it, because there's a lot of details and stuff, and there will be questions, and I don't answer questions for free usually. That's the real deal. So it's just
Especially if
like,
it's the same question that you've already answered 3 times. I noticed that happens a lot to you. So
it does. Yeah. You got and it
does
is
it
a,
still work?
I know there's some really like great valuable information, and like to put it within a course, like to streamline the whole thing is something I'll probably end up doing with this. Okay, cool. I have some idea that this is probably a pretty big impact on your life, especially with the growth that you've seen in the last year, roughly 3xing, and now like you've really focused in. So how has this website impacted your life?
Oh yeah, man, it's huge. It's huge. I mean, so this month I think I'm gonna hit, if not $5,000, at least $4,000 in terms of the income from this site. Probably be somewhere between there. And that's a full-time income for most people. So it's huge. The other thing too is for me, what's been really helpful, and again, I think it's something that I first thought about when I found your channel, and you were talking about how that first site that you had that you sold for like 120,000 or whatever that was, is to start to think in terms of the valuation of the site. Even though I don't think I'm going to sell my site my sites anywhere in the near future, just knowing that I now have a site that's worth $75,000 or $100,000 is just like the relief that gives you in terms of you know, bumps up my net worth by so much, and my family. It's huge. It really is. It's huge.
Very cool. Well, you definitely, I mean, you put in the time, you put in the work, and this is a, there are some things you can do to like shorten the path, but usually it's a zigzag path to get to where you're at. And it's rarely a straight line. So it's cool. Like you had the site in place, you were kind of maybe all over the place, it sounds like, with your ADD. And now you're like, all right, I'm going to publish content that could actually earn some money here. And it's working out really well. And I mean, this is after Amazon cut the commission rates. This is through like dozens probably of Google algorithm updates, and like things are going awesome. So congratulations.
Yeah, I've been lucky not to be really affected by the Google algorithm stuff. I think piece of advice I have there is just, again, put out good content. If you're doing that, I think you tend to hedge the algorithm updates. The Amazon Associates too, I was kind of lucky there in that my products that I promote were kind of in that 4% range that didn't really change. I mean, my overall hit was about 0.5% in terms of how much my commission's gone down. So it went from, on average, about a 4%, 4.1% down to 3.6%. Sorry, it's my nerdy.
Gotcha. No, people love that. People love that. So I think, aside from high quality content, any other tips where maybe more mindset for people that want to replicate what you have done here?
Sure. And again, this is something that I would really, it's just in terms of focus, especially for someone like me, someone that, ADD, it's really hard to focus. And there's so many shiny objects in terms of what you can do online. And usually someone that's looking to make money online or build a business online, I think your viewership has the right thing in that it's more of the tortoise than the hare, right? It's a long thing. If you start to see this from the long view, I think most people will be much more successful with that. Again, there's so many rabbit holes you can go down with, quick bucks, funnels. I mean, there's just so many different things you can try to chase. But the niche site model of just putting out content, good content, on the long run, I think is really the way to go. So.
I agree. Yep. I think I went on some tangent the other day on that very thing where if you're looking instead of like 3 to 6 months out and you're looking like 3 years out, you can make much different decisions. You don't have to be in a hurry, and you really will. I mean, I think you will probably come out ahead. Anything that you can like do really quickly and like be successful super fast, like usually you can lose it that quick, or there's like 150 people like ready to step over your back to get where you're at. So
exactly, those kind of quick ways to making money are very easily stolen, and don't last. Yeah.
Very
the
good.
Other thing I would just to build on that too is kind of my big thing right now is just in terms of posting content, right? I think the number one goal for any of us that are in this, building a business online is just putting out good quality content. There's so many different things that you can focus on, whether they be the tools that you're using or, different projects that you could be doing. But I think, my main goal right now is to get about 60 to 70,000 words of content out every month. I see that, this is a very scalable thing. If this works for, there's 150,000 words on my site now. If I have 1.5 million words on my site that are of the same quality and same, why can't I 10x my income, right? So that's kind of where I'm, my number one metric that I look at now is content, word count, right?
Just getting it out.
All the other stuff is kind of, traffic, all of that, and that will come if you get out the word count. So.
Gotcha.
My 2 cents.
And what one topic that you mentioned before, Beau, and I completely forgot to bring it up earlier, but monetization, and you were talking about AdSense a little bit, and also you mentioned Ezoic. So can you tell us about what's going on with that?
Sure. So the site. So I initially built the site out with AdSense. It made just pennies or a few dollars a day back when I was getting very little traffic. I then transitioned to Ezoic, and they actually reached out to me to put my site on their network. And I was like, well, I don't meet the 10,000 page views a month threshold. This was back in December or January. They're like, okay, well, because of the quality of your site, we'd love to have you. And I was on the platform for a few months, and did pretty good. I mean, it made a few $100. It was like much more than I was making on AdSense, like 10, 15 times what I was making on AdSense. And they put ads in all the right places and that kind of thing. So that was great. And then my site crashed, like it just completely crashed. And I thought it was because of, and my thought was because it was because of Ezoic, because there were certain things. But it was, what happened was my SSL renewed on my hosting platform, which threw Ezoic for a loop, which then somehow is, couldn't explain the technical side of it, but somehow the communication between Ezoic and the renewal of the SSL crashed the site. So I took Ezoic down, been off Ezoic for a few months, and now I'm trying to get back on Ezoic and I reached out to them, and I don't know, they haven't been friendly.
Okay. So, well, a good thing is I know people there, so I'll put you in the right contact so they'll
Right.
expedite it and they'll get you back on. So, because I'm sure, I mean, they invited you, right? So, and it was just a technical glitch. So,
There was just a miscommunication. For some reason, they thought they brought my site down because of quality control or something. And I was like, there's no way it was because of quality control. I've been on AdSense for years now and it's never had. Anyway, so just a miscommunication, I think, and hopefully I can get back on.
very good. Okay. Well, and overall, it sounds like Ezoic was delivering in terms of revenue, and you were making more than anything else you tried.
They really they did a great job of not only, so I had ad placements in all the wrong places, and they came in and their person set up all the, I don't even know what you call them, but the places where they put the ads. So I mean, it went from like a few dollars a month to 200 a month just on Ezoic. And I think if Ezoic were on the site now, I'm making 200 with AdSense, so it'll probably be like 600 or more just from Ezoic if I do end up being able to get them on. So
Okay. Yeah. Let's get you back on there.